News Panorama is a TV news magazine program that gives you the story behind the story.
It tells the stories the way they should be told by capturing the larger scale.
It deals with people's deep feelings on issues that, when brought to the fore, ultimately educates, informs and entertains.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
The importance of the census lies in its being an integrated picture of the society in a given time within numerous, multiple and continuous changes which cannot be defined through other data collecting methods. The census provides a sustainable database for comparisons and projections of demographic data as well as social and economic characteristics of society. Welcome and thanks for joining me on the program. I'm Josephine Efanga.
This is the Federal Secretary's Office, the capacity building workshop on the processes and methodology of the 2023 population and housing health. The purpose for this all-important workshop is to arm and equip the State Census Committee on how to effectively publicize the 2023 census. Preparations for the 2023 National Population Census is on top gear. Recall that the federal government has proposed the 3rd of May through the 7th of May as the tentative date for the 2023 census exercise. Howbeit, from all indication, the exercise is certain, as the National Population Commission has aimed out several levels of preparations towards the event. Navy Captain Charles Inyam Ogwa, retired, is the Honorable Federal Commissioner representing Cross River State. So far, they have aimed out Enumeration Area Demarcation, EAD, to pretest, pilot, enumeration, trial census and trainings and retrainings of personnel who will engage in the field.
The overriding vision for this 2023 is to conduct a credible and acceptable census and generate user-friendly data which is all inclusive, so that everybody, every sector of the society can use this data for planning. Every sector of the community, of the whole society, will be able to use this data we are going to generate for planning and development. That's why we are saying the data will be transformational. So with that type of vision, we had asked ourselves, how do we now reach the people? Because census is for the people and it's by the people. So how do we reach them? Not to form the national, to put up the national population committee, headed, in fact, the chairman is the Minister of Information. He personally had his two meetings already. After the inauguration, he had the two meetings. He inaugurated this national day and asked us to replicate the good work. And like I said already, we were carefully chosen, believing that what we are doing is a service to our fatherland. How do we now get to go about it? Because already people will be hearing, we're a member of Census Committee. Now, why do you go say it is digital? No, there are some basic questions they will ask you. And because of the kind of capacity you have, you'll be able to talk about it. So that's the essence of this workshop. It is not as if we are going to teach you completely on the census. So it's just the census process. For example, the other day I gave a small keynote milestones, which I have said we will share them electronically to all of you, so that you'll be able to look at it. So even if someone asks you, how are they prepared? You say, no, they have done this, they have done this, they have done this. We'll share it with you. Even the video, we'll share it with you. So I want to enjoy you all to learning yourself into this. Don't look at this as if it's a waste of time. I know you have other schedules in the office, but I want to believe that it is all for the service of the country.
There were several paper presentations at the workshop for the Publicity Committee. The first paper was Process and Methodology for the Conduct of the 2023 Population and Housing Census. The paper was by Mr. Otu Ofem, the head of
Department Technical NPC. One salient point in census has always been proper counting, which has a lot of socio-political and economic value to the citizenry. It was for this reason that Mr. Ofem stressed the need for a greater synergy of the NPC and the state governments.
The Council may wish to note that the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, as the lead partner, has been providing overall technical assistance support to the Commission for the next population and housing census. It has recruited and seconded to the Commission a Chief Technical Advisor for the census in the person of Dr. Colin Appiu, who oversight the Kenya, Ethiopia, and recently Ghanaian 2021 census amid the COVID pandemic. I think that is what really attracted us. If that can be done even when COVID is on or was prevalent, we can do it now that COVID is gone, because we know it's gone. This support is in line with the international best practices. UNFPA is also negotiating several partnerships for funding and technical assistance, including United Nations partner agencies, potential support from the U.S. Census Bureau, the developers of the CS Pro software to be used for data capturing and processing, Population Reference Bureau to support implementation of effective communication strategy and statistics, that is Denmark, to provide, and statistics, Denmark is a body from Denmark, to provide overall statistics support to the census process.
There were other presentations on the history of population census in Nigeria, which was taken by the State Director of NPC, Mr. Stanley Itam.
A lot of issues have hindered the country and put the country in tension. Prominent about this has been the attempt to obtain demographic data for national planning through conduct of population census. So many things hindered the conduct of census in that year. Again, in 1962/63, the first census Nigeria ever conducted after that independence was in 1962, during the reign of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. That census was rejected due to attachment of too much political importance. Various regions rejected the result and it was cancelled. And that is one of the peculiar issues where census is concerned. By the time you finish conducting national census, the next thing you hear is litigations, protests here and there. People will come in with reports or complaints. This my community was not counted, we were not counted. But now that we are doing preparation for the main census, we discover that even right from EAD, when we're doing elevation area demarcation, there are some areas you enter, people will not see it as if you are coming to do something important for them. The first thing I ask you as you are coming in, what have you brought for us? Sorry to say this, even our traditional leaders, some of them are involved in this case. Instead of mobilizing their people to cooperate with the functionaries, they rather make things difficult. So that by the time you start your exercise, you discover that maybe you're behind time.
For many at the workshop, 17-year span before a new census was not acceptable because it showed that many data based on a 17-year census is obsolete and misleading. It was brainstorming sessions as personals of the NPC to the Publicity Committee members through the development of the exercise. 4 of the members of the Publicity Committee are media practitioners and other information stakeholders as CAN, Market Women, National Orientation Agency, NYSC, to mention only few. We only but trust that they would discharge their duty to the best. Other paper presentations were how to generate media content on the 2023 Population and Housing Census by Mr. Paul Agu. The importance of publicity in any event cannot be overemphasized. Mr. Paul Agu stressed on factual, effective, efficient representations and proper usage of terms.
The specific objectives are 1. To increase the quantity of the media coverage of the 2023 census through multiplicity of sources of information on the census. We want you, or would like you as professionals, to do as much as you can to help us carry out this message of census to the general public. That is all our aim. How can you be of help to us? And as members of this committee, we are aware that you are drawn from media, perspective and some other areas. So we believe that you will use your professional idea in enhancing our publicity, objective, so that the message of census will reach every nook and cranny of this country, all segments of society, from the grassroots to the top. We will see gradually how we can approach all categories of people, segments of the society, with the census message. That is all we're trying to achieve here.
Other paper presentations were on technological innovation in the 2023 Population and Housing Census and enumeration area demarcation for the 2023 Population and Housing Census.
This process that is going to be involved in this exercise is going to be digital, no paperwork. The goals of technology adoption. The goals, the interest of this digital involvement or employment is 1, to track and ensure complete coverage of the country during the census exercise, reduce error in the entire census process, including field data collection, facilitate real-time data transfer for quality check within the census field, reduce timeliness, facilitate efficient employment of resources, improve field management and facilitate monitoring of workflow, and then ensure timely computation of the data or the result of census. Well, we are all experienced on the fact that technology has made it so easy for information to go viral in the split of seconds. And so, Population Commission is engaging these digital tools to ensure that, 1, we do complete coverage of every part of this country.
It was a long day and knowledge-packed on census information, as the Publicity Committee was charged to help disseminate the census information. The Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mr. Eric Anderson, is the Cross River State Publicity Chairman of the 2023 National Population Census. In an interview after the presentations, called on the information stakeholders to ensure adequate publicity against all odds. Commissioner pledged the state government's commitment to the exercise, even as it pointed that already all the media instruments in the state are hyping the census.
First of all, we have a duty which is to get an information sensitization spent quite some time to this on the election. process of the entire exercise. I see an orderly arrangement from the National Commission so for the people who are here, all professionals, journalists, Nigeria, CNBC, can all professionals. So I expect that when we go through the documents, here we have 4 papers done already to go through the documents and go through the lines and take this information to our clients. It's easy. We have the platform to facilitate CNBC and political people outside the city. All of the those are the functions also has this daily bulletin that we bring out because NGOs is very strong. Every platform we have, even the private radio stations, all the this, and then we have the churches, and of course the marketing. Just mentioning something now that we should not use the sign this information to go down all churches and also to buy the sign. So I think it's something that I'm not going to do. That's what I'd like to also use this opportunity to commend the process is very, very properly done. Having one day workshop and going through the paper to see how intentional we are after 17 years with this sense of
A few participants at the training said there was need for intense mobilization because of the short timing.
I think one of the ways also amplify the publicity that we do on sector, we have our congress, we are also
the interface was not to give them the appointment. The interface was
training
to ensure that the picture on the system and the credentials clearly
about the census has been made known to us, and these are the things that they need to understand so that in their reports that they may have to do, or anyone confronting them to get to know what is the update on the census, should be able to let the people know that the census is scheduled to come up in May, and the number of persons, the numerators that are coming to your house, these are the things that they will need to do. These are the things you should look up to, and you get to understand. So we will do our best to ensure that the exercise is a huge success.
There should have been time frame, go around.
At the headquarters, the data managers have their level of access. The communicator, the commissioner, they have their level of access.
Vehicles,
so everybody's level of access is given by this
all these street people.
So when you enter your password,
to be counted because of the census. And this involves because of the creation of states and local governments and all these elections purposes. So we need to be counted.
This is a training for the forthcoming census 2023. It's on record that the state COMOs are community orientation and mobilization officers. They have been trained like this on what is expected of them to tell the public out there in their various government areas. And we have an office in every local government area, and the COMOs are battle ready. The moment the federal government says it is truly from this day to this day, and before then they will be in the field and do the needful.
I am Josephine, a farmer.
Nigeria continues to confront multiple security threats across its territory, with insecurity deepening in the northern and southern parts of the country. In Cross River State, about 15 local government areas have experienced conflict, a reason for the conflict resolution by the Foundation for Partnership Initiative in Niger Delta. Security agencies, traditional rulers, the state government and other peace stakeholders have resolved for lasting peace in the states.
Conflict resolution is a way for two or more parties to find a peaceful solution to a disagreement among them. The disagreements may be personal, financial, political, or emotional. When a dispute arises, often the best course of action is negotiation to resolve the disagreement. Conflict resolution through negotiation can be good for all parties involved. often each side will get more by participating in negotiation than they would be walking away, and it can be a way for your group to get resources that may otherwise be out of reach. In Cross River State, the Foundation for Partnership Initiative in the Niger Delta, security agencies, the state government, and traditional rulers met and resolved on the way forward to foster peace in the state.
Conflict arises when individuals have varied interests, opinions, and thought processes, and are just not willing to compromise with each other.
The consultant for Partnership Initiative to Niger Delta, PING, Mr. Raphael Ofiong, recalled that with the capacity strengthening program held for traditional rulers and peace stakeholders by the Foundation for Partnership Initiative, the Foundation is optimistic that peace has finally returned to all the crisis zone in the states.
We had over time since December last year. In fact, we started in October. That was the buy-in process into the peace building setting. Then in December we had an inauguration of the Prevent Council that we are looking at preventing conflict. Although it has already happened, we selected the actors and a few pilot local governments and pilot communities, which has to do with 6 LGs. We have the Dupane local government, Biase, Ikom, Obubra, Yakom, and Abi local government involved in this project. So in the course of our struggle, we've had 4 different engagements. The first one was, like I said, in December, between the 5th and 9th of December 2022. The second phase was the community engagement, where we went to different villages and communities that participated, like Odukpani, Port Town, New Nathan, Ikom, Okosora, Ochon, Akiapum, and so forth and so on, and Lessie. But then after that, we had another phase of engagement, which we broke the state into 3 clusters. The Calabar cluster covered the Korofion people, the New Nathan, Calabar municipality, Dupane Core clan. Then we had the Gap cluster to the Abi local government, Biase local government, and Yakol local government, and then the Ikom cluster that had to do with Obubra and Ikom itself. At the end of the day, I'll gladly say that God, in His infinite mercy, has actually used PING to solve a whole lot of problems. We have averted a lot of problems because we train them basically on early warning signal and early warning response. It has gone out well. In fact, the greatest achievement is that the Ebom Ebijakara case have been resolved, have been managed, and they've come to understand better. Then the New Nathan and Odukpani Clan, which we are all witnesses today, that their problem and excommunication over time is now coming to fruition, because from this meeting we now have a peace move to see how we can gather all of these people.
The chairman, Traditional Rulers Council, Etienne Mokunede, said the conflict between Odukpani Clan and New Netem, as well as the Court of Young, will be a thing of the past, as the state's Traditional Rulers Council and other peace stakeholders will visit Odukpane local government area and other disputed areas to ensure lasting solution in line with government resolution.
Concommunal crises are going to be settled simultaneously. They're going to move from there to another place, from there to another place, because when there is peace, we want the incoming government to inherit peace and not to inherit crisis. Crisis is going to be out of the books of Ayade as it's handing over. Everywhere must be peaceful. We are children of God. We love God. God is peace. And so we must make peace. Whosoever does not want peace, does not want progress, development. So that's what we are looking for, and that's what we are going to do. We have interacted with the key players all this time. We were not sleeping. We've been interacting, and until we arrived at this. That means a lot of work had gone on. We do hope that both parties will accept it. The area cannot just continue to be like that. We cannot continue in sin for grace to abound. That area is school, no more school, no health center, no everything, nobody except the Odukpane, few of the Odukpane people on the left flank, which is not good enough. So there are people, they are the same. You notice that your father will come from Odukpane clan, your mother will come from Netum, and vice versa. So who are you going to kill? Who are you going to be left alive? So either way, you are killing yourself. So we have tutored them on the need for peace.
The representative of New Netum community has this to say.
Yeah, it's not that we've taken a resolution, but the paramount ruler of Bakassi, the chairman of Cross River State Traditional Rulers Council, have taken a bold step to interfere in that matter between New Netum and Odukpani. And by tomorrow, according to what he has said, that he will be at Odukpani for peace settlement, and we are pleased with that.
The Director General Bodacom, Mr. Noel Ugbong, while speaking in Calabar at the Preventive Council meeting and capacity strengthening in Cross River State, reiterated the state government's commitments towards lasting conflict resolution in Cross River State. Mr. Ugbong stated that the state government partnership with all peace stakeholders is geared towards practicalizing conflict resolution in the state, noting that the meeting evolves strategies that will help resolve conflicts in the state permanently.
There is nothing greater than peace, so we gathered here to evolve strategies that will help in resolving conflicts in Cross River State. And we have all been exposed to solutions that work, very sustainable solutions, and we are geared towards practicalizing them, bringing them to the field to help in resolving those conflicts that have kept some communities across River State apart. So the theories and axioms are well founded, and we are very sure that going forward we'll approach conflict in Cross River State with a better perspective and have better results.
It is always wise to adjust to some extent to try to find solutions to the problem rather than creeping and fighting. For CRBC News Panorama, I am Josephine Efanga reporting.
That is all we have on our lineup. We hope to be back same time next week. I am Josephine Efanga.